Jack Boy, a rapper who you may or may not know, been going back and forth with Kodak for a while. But the question is, where did everything start? Jack Boy born August 27, 1999. He came from Haiti, but grew up in Florida. And like some other artists I done spoke about, he grew up surrounded by music, which started to influence him. But it was something else that he was surrounded by that also started to influence him. Crime. Surrounded by all this crime, it was only a matter of time before it started to change him. Growing up, he started to feel like crime was the only solution. That's all he knew. And at 11 years old, he got arrested for the first time. He was with somebody, and this somebody he was with was on that time. They wanted to hit somebody's house. So they planned it, they got everything together, and that's exactly what they did. But it was one thing about this story. They brought 11-year-old Jack Boy right with him. He was with somebody, and if somebody was on that time, they planned something now. They wanted to hit somebody's house, and that's exactly what this person did. But there's one detail that I'm leaving out. 11-year-old Jack Boy was sent out on the mission with him. And so they get to the house, they doing what they do, and eventually it goes south, and everything started going wrong. And it ended up with 11-year-old Jack Boy and the person he was with getting arrested. Jack Boy was sent to the pen, and this was the start of everything. Because barely a year later, at 12, he was arrested again. But 13 is where his life would change for real. The thing is though, yeah, he being bad and going to jail over and over and over. But to him, he felt like he wasn't doing all this for no reason. His life was hard. Think about it. Him and his family came here as broke immigrants, right? And on top of them not really having money, them being immigrants meant they couldn't get no government assistance. You know, some people get EBT, some people get Section 8, but they didn't give them none of that. It was rough. They didn't have no money. So he was doing what he was doing just so they could have any bit of money. He said he understood that jail was a possibility, but bro was willing to take that risk. He didn't care. He needed the bread and was just trying to get it any way he could. But back to what I was saying, he turned 13 and the feds was tired of him. 12 wasn't finna give him another chance, and they made bro sit until he was 17 years old. So really think about it. For most of his life, he was in and out the system. Bro didn't even have a childhood. He didn't even get to live a regular life. He spent all of the time he could have been making memories and doing whatever in jail. And that's a sad reality a lot of people be falling into. But when he got out at 17, the people around him probably thought everything was gonna be okay. They might have thought he learned his lesson and don't want to go back no more. But that ain't last. Soon after getting out, he got arrested again. Bro was just doing anything. Credit card fraud, robbing, stealing, just doing whatever to get a little bit of pay. And look, even though his life was horrible being locked up, most of it wasn't all bad. Because being locked up made him think differently. He started to look at the world differently, and the way he started to approach situations would change completely. He learned to be prepared for any situation that would come his way. But around this time that he was in and out of jail, his life started to change. 2016 came around, and it was an artist blowing up at that time, Kodak Black. 2016, Yak was going crazy. Popped up on XXL, had a hit, had Drake cosigns. Yak was looking like the next star, and the world knew it. But you probably got a question on your mind. What do this even got to do with Jack Boy? So something I ain't mentioned was Yak and Jack Boy been knew each other. So when Jack was growing up, he was in the Golden Acres projects, but somebody else grew up there, Yak. And these two met all the way back when it was like 10, 11. And it was like them two were just locked in from the moment they met. Then on top of that, they was about the same age, so it only made sense that they was gonna be close. And I'm talking about like brothers. Jack said he used to be around Kodak more than he was around his own brothers. And the same thing for Kodak. Kodak was with Jack Boy more than he was with his own brothers. But it don't stop there. They was on that time at them early ages. Like I spoke about earlier, Jack needed bread, and he started planning to hit cars. And Jack would come along right with him sometimes. And over the years, they was just bonding. And when Kodak blew up in 2016, Jack Boy was right with him. And if you watch some of the old XXL footage and read up on it, Kodak was even shouting Jack Boy out all the way back then before Jack Boy even had a song out. And I'm guessing around this time, Kodak started to convince Jack Boy to start taking music for real. Cause he dropped his first tape at the end of this year. And look, even though it wasn't nothing life-changing, it was the start of something big, the start of his fan base. Cause once this dropped, people started to pay a little bit of attention to bro. But it ain't last long, cause soon after he started rapping, he got sent to the pen once again. But this time, he was facing time. He was supposed to be gone for a long time, and what I'm finna say next don't really sound believable, but Jack Boy said, I was supposed to catch a real long time, but since they saw I was a rapper and I had a career, they gave me a chance with it. music is the reason I got spared. Look, I don't believe it, but who knows? Maybe he could be telling the truth. After he got out though, everything was cool until about 2019, where he got arrested. Again, Jackboy arrested for tampering with evidence and drug possession. After years of building a fan base and collabing with Yak and all these rappers around him, he got arrested. But this time, the world was starting to pay attention. So for this next section to make sense, we're gonna go back in time a little bit. 2017 to be exact. Just about a year after starting to rap, he got caught up in something. He was arrested. At the time he just started rapping, it was still probably trying to figure out his life and ain't realized what kind of potential he had. So he was acting like the old him and was arrested for aggravated battery and robbery with a scrap in August 2017, and they put him on probation. So when 2019 came around and he got arrested for tampering with evidence and gas possession, it was an automatic probation violation. But luckily, he got out the next day, and as soon as he touched down, he got on live.
They pulled me over. You know what they say when they pull me over? They say, "We got Kodak. You next." I don't know what y'all got against Sniper Gang, but we not beefing. Y'all the police, we not beefing. I'm telling Miller, I was like, man, listen, we not beefing, bro. Stop doing this. Like, we ain't beefing, bro. I ain't beefing with you, bro. You the police, bitch. I can't win.
Crazy part is, I really do believe the cop said that to him. I wouldn't be surprised. But over the next few years, he was just dropping music, doing his thing. And this where I found out about Jackboy. Back in 2020, when he dropped the Jackboy tape, had some good songs on there. And if you ain't never listened to Jackboy for real, I say listen to that album. But 2021 is where everything started going crazy. So leading up to this moment, Kodak was locked up for a few years. So Jackboy was just growing his career, supporting this boy. And he said they problems started all over some money, miscommunication, and jealousy. Something many people go through. Most arguments, most problems, most bad situations come from miscommunication. So pretty much when Jack first started rapping, Kodak signed him for $2,500. Yeah, nigga. $2,500. So after he got signed, he was a nobody, just trying to grow, dropping project after project, and slowly over time, he started to become the face of Sniper Gang behind Kodak. So think about it. Kodak got a label, but he in prison. Jackboy, the one that's really putting on for the label and dropping for the label. So deep down, it was probably problems rising. That's just a little bit of backstory so everything else makes some sense. So y'all remember what went down. Yak was locked up for a long time and eventually got pardoned by Donald Trump. And I don't know if you remember, but when he got out, him and Jackboy wasn't seen together at all. And y'all know how the internet get. Speculations started to come out about the two. People started to wonder, did they have some problems going on? How these two homeboys that was this close, this locked in, not even together, when the main artist just got out of jail after being in there for years? But slowly over time, as the year went on, them problems started to become public. And at first it was slight. They would throw a little diss at each other here and there until Kodak took it to the next level. He started getting on IG, posting, saying he was making all this money off Jackboy. Then he was throwing the money in the toilet, in the ocean, just being real disrespectful. Basically clowning Jackboy. Basically making it seem like, yeah, you put in all this work, you get in the studio, put all these hours in, but guess who get most of the money? Me. He was basically rubbing it in his face. Jackboy was really staying silent though. He didn't want to beef, but Kodak just kept going. So back when Kodak was in jail, he had made a whole post dissing Youngboy, calling him a rat, being disrespectful. And when him and Jackboy started beefing, for some reason Kodak brought it right back up. It was basically saying that Jackboy signed it to his Instagram while he was in jail and made the post talking about Youngboy and disrespecting Youngboy because Jackboy ain't want to see Kodak collab with Youngboy. And at first when Kodak was disrespecting Jackboy was only like, yeah, that's my brother. Even though he mad at me, even though he want to talk all this crazy talk, that's still my brother. Until Kodak started getting too disrespectful with this whole situation. Jackboy had to come with the receipts proving it was Kodak who made the post about Youngboy. He posted up some pictures and DMs of Kodak talking down on Youngboy. So they basically shut that whole situation down. I guess when all this came out, Kodak just wanted to stop that whole conversation. So he decided to bring up something else entirely. He decided to bring up why they started beefing in the first place. Basically, Kodak was saying Jackboy owed him since he put him under his label and he the one who put Jackboy on and he the one who made Jackboy start popping in the first place. But remember what I said, while Kodak was locked up, Jackboy was always supporting him, always saying free Kodak, always showing love to Sniper Gang, was always dropping songs and tapes under Kodak Black's label. making him money. So when Kodak got out saying J-Boy owed him, J-Boy was thinking like, what you mean I done did all this for you and the label, and you acting like I ain't do nothing. Then J-Boy was on interviews saying Kodak don't like when people do stuff on their own. J-Boy was feeling like Kodak was only cool when he was putting somebody on or he was giving somebody a platform. But when J-Boy started doing it on his own, it was like everything changed. Yak was looking at him some type of way.
That man up for real, man. That man be faking it on the gram like he having, competing with his homeboy. You going broke, trying to compete with me, Wolf. Why that man faking like he having, man? That boy gonna do all type of Jack ain't never do this for me. Jack ain't never do this. Man, the world know, man, I held SG down for the last 2 years, man. Why would I want you to have 46 months? When you came home early, that was the most happiest ever. But it's like you came home lame as, like you came home, I don't know, they malfunctioned. That's why I say Trump, send that back. Send the real Kodak back, cause this y'all son back out here, I don't know what the wrong with him.
Hey, Jack boy. Bro, listen, it's crazy cause you know it's like, bro, I don't be on it. This what you own, homie. So I'ma fight back regardless, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dawg, listen, bro. Our mutual homeboy been told me, bro, this what you wanted to do. So now it's like when I go to send me something back, why you trying to act like I'm on some Instagram shit about you riding for it? You roll for me, head first, you hit people, all kinds of shit. Come on, bro. I'm in the hood every day, bro. You never come back around here, boy.
But all this going back and forth eventually caught up. It ain't take long for them to start dissing each other in music. Cause in October of that year, Kodak dropped a diss on Jackboy. A diss that the world know too well. Super Gremlin. If you ain't know, that whole song was a diss on Jackboy. But this where the story gonna turn. Everything I said was pretty much from Jackboy point of view and the world point of view. But what did Kodak really think about the situation?
Yeah, right before I came home, what Jit telling my people, he telling everybody, look, oh yeah, when bro come home, I got an M for him. When bro come home, just flagging, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make that shit sound good, so with him, so I think he keeping it real. Oh yeah, I got an M for him. I got an M for him when he come home. Soon, boom, I came home early. Soon, like, oh yeah, bro about to come home. All of a sudden, just get ghost, move. You know what I'm saying? Move, just go again, strange, homie. Could have bought me a watch. I say, bro, you straight. I never made a dime off shit. I never ruined nothing. I let it keep all these shit.
Now, like y'all heard what he just said. Just said, I ain't made no money off bro. But just a couple months before this, he was claiming he made an M off Jackboy. He made all this money off Jackboy. It was trolling. But now, all of a sudden, he ain't made no money off bro. Now, that sound like a crazy lie to me, but what do y'all think? He felt like Jackboy took everything he gave him and ran with it. He felt like he came home and Jackboy ghosted him. He started doing his own thing, but Jackboy felt the complete opposite. I really feel like they whole situation was started over some miscommunication, but this miscommunication really been turning into something more over the past few years. This beef started back in 2021 and it's still going on in 2023. 2022, it was just them going back and forth sometimes, but recently it came back up. Who knows if this beef will ever end? They've been going back and forth for the longest. I hope one day they can resolve their problems, but I guess only time will tell.